Jumbo fellow adventurers, welcome to Friday, the best Friday of your life so far, I trust. What a week. What a bunch of deep subjects. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your engagement below Facebook and Instagram, YouTube as well. It makes it worthwhile for me to do these, to get the feedback that you've been giving me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So post your questions below. That helps me a lot to know what you want to hear. An extension of these very hot and I think very exciting topics that we've been touching on lately would be if, as I've recently shared, we are going collectively, our spiritual maturity in these primitive times, spiritually speaking, from teenager to adulthood. Collectively, soul age, we're teenagers, rah, rah, look at me, I'm awesome. And suddenly realizing there are consequences to the exercising of our power and that ignorance is not so blissful, and wow. And now we're coming to terms with a lot of awkwardness, like, oh, I didn't know that was me. I didn't know it was my fault. I didn't know I was so powerful. I didn't know you were in pain. I didn't know you were suffering. So that's what we're going through now. From here, what's next? What lies ahead? Because most people have this default assumption that humanity is a base creature, very animalistic, heathen, born bad, broken, a sinner. The views as to where we go from here are pretty horrible based on those flawed views of what humanity is. The truth is, and I'll give you some legs to put under this table in just a moment, the future, the very near future is so bright, we're all going to need sunglasses. It is amazingly exciting where we're going when you look at the nature of a human being and you see their true goodness. Look at yourself, that you would help save somebody's life, even if it meant risking your own. That you know it's better to give than to receive. That you'd rather be engaged and fulfilled than sitting around all day watching TV. That's everyone's nature, unless they've been stripped and robbed of their dignity for 400 plus years, and we're solving that problem. We're moving in the right direction to correct that problem right now. But our nature, no matter your skin color, no matter your creed, no matter your religion, is to be a contributing member of society, because everyone is so awesome and they're all your brothers and sisters. We are filled with genius. Look at us right now. And in the height of our naiveties, now, as a civilization, teenagers spiritually approaching young adulthood, in the height of our ignorance, many people thinking God's an angry white man. Many people thinking God is jealous and judgmental and wrathful. Many thinking God has set aside a place in hell for some of his children. It's like so ridiculous. In spite of those kind of thoughts prevailing the world over, 85%, 15% think God doesn't even exist, that life is a random chance accident. Both blow the mind as to their naiveties. When you look around at the splendor, the beauty, the harmony, the symbiotic relationships of every species, it's like, it's insanely magnificent. This is not the evolution of space dust, okay? I can assure you. When you realize that we've had our head in the sands, yet in spite of ourselves, we have space stations, global cooperation, DNA technology, smartphones that can land a fleet of lunar modules. It's like suddenly you realize we are pegged to succeed, that our nature is good, that we are natural born geniuses. And even with blinders on, we succeed. Even with blinders on, the world is improving every single year. Poverty levels are dropping. without, in every category, life is better. And yes, we have a coronavirus. And yes, we have inequality. And these things are part of the healing to get us on track in areas where we were really slipping and falling. But in spite of that, we've still thrived. When you get, as I've just laid out, that we are that successful, given our divine lineage, the eyes and the ears of God Almighty come alive in the dream of life because we could, immortal beings, eternal gladiators of love and joy. When you realize that that's the case, even when we're stupid, we thrive. Can you imagine where we're headed when there's a little bit more equality? Can you imagine where we're headed when we decide to take care of the planet and respect all of its creatures? Can you imagine where we're headed when everyone greets each other as a brother and a sister? Can you imagine where we're headed when we recognize and feel the love that we're bathed in 24/7 since the day we were born, no matter what our trespasses have been, no matter how wrong or mistaken we were, we are adored. We're still pushed on to greatness. We've never been judged. Can you imagine how amazing this is going to be? A life in time and space on planet Earth? There will be cooperation. There will be participation. There will be creative fulfillment. There will be it will be unrecognizable to the world we live in today. Future generations, perhaps my daughter, when she's an adult, they will look at our generation and the generations that immediately preceded it with utter, total disbelief. Like, how could that have gone on? How could people have been so ignorant? How could people have not seen the beauty? How could people not have moved with their heart? Because we were scared. Because we've just emerged from the caves, spiritually speaking. Because we didn't know any better. This is nobody's fault. It's the natural arc of the evolution of consciousness. It could have been pegged. In fact, Nostradamus and many ancient texts and scripts and modern day seers saw this coming. The Mayan calendar ended in 2012 so that a new and better one could begin. They all saw that this evolution of consciousness could be plotted on a chart, and where we're going is going to blow our minds in the most wonderful way. And will we be capitalists? Will we be socialists? The ists and the isms will be so irrelevant. Government will be small because humanity will be taking responsibility for themselves. Individually and collectively, we will all have an elevated sense of responsibility. Everyone's going to look out for the other. Governments will be charged with two things: making sure that there's freedom, and if necessary, mandated, which happens to be the case now. The day is quickly coming when you won't need mandated freedom. Everyone's going to make sure everyone else is doing okay. And then the other thing the government will be needed for, not defense. There's going to be too much love in the world to think that having bigger guns is going to make you safer. But a safety net, which is mandated today, needs to be mandated today, but it will not be important in the future except to minimal degrees. Those are going to be the only functions of government. Ensure freedom, but people are going to be wanting that anyway, and enforcing it themselves, and safety nets. Well, I'm going to let you go. It's already been 9 minutes, right? So I've got more I could talk about on this. It's really exciting where we're going. This is how exciting it is to be alive right now, as this civilization moves from ignorance into the light. Have an amazing Friday. Thanks for the interaction. Thank you for everything. Hey, today is the last day that you can do the 21-day visualization project at a price you name. So if you're curious, I'll post the link in the edited description of this Facebook and the link on my bio and Instagram. So the last day to pick your price. Okay, and it's not too late to join in and begin day one right now. 21 days, I'll guide you through a creative visualization. The feedback has been through the roof. Lots of happy tears. Let's shed some together, okay? Happy Friday, happy weekend. Thank you, Sam. Mazel tov. Deborah, Lisa, Kim.